You know the dream, right? Taking a tiny bit of cash and turning it into a life-changing fortune, like overnight. But is that all it is? Just a dream? Well, in this explainer, we're going to tackle that exact question. How could you turn $100 into a million?
So let's get right to it. Can you actually do this? I mean, is it really possible to take a simple $100 bill and turn it into seven figures by 2026? It's the ultimate financial fantasy, right? But what's the real story?
Okay, the short, honest answer, almost nobody does. But, and this is a big but, that's not the whole story. The longer, more interesting answer is that there are, in fact, specific paths where it's, well, mathematically possible. And you know what? Understanding these paths will teach you way more about creating real wealth than any get-rich-quick video ever could.
Okay, to even begin, we've got to wrap our heads around the core problem here. And it's really a math problem. This isn't just about making money. Nope, this is about achieving an almost unbelievable level of return.
Yeah, this is the number that changes everything. 10,000x. To turn $100 into a million, you need a 10,000x return. That's not a typo, it's not 10x, it's not 100x. It is 10,000 times your initial investment. Just let that sink in for a second.
So let's put that number into perspective, okay? You know the stock market, right? The tried and true path to building wealth? That averages, what, maybe 8 to 10% a year? Our goal, it requires a 1,000,000% return. I mean, when you see it like that, it's crystal clear, isn't it? Traditional investing, as great as it is, just isn't going to get you there. We need something totally different.
And that something different has a name. It's called an asymmetric opportunity. It's a fancy term for a simple idea. These are rare situations where the potential upside, the win, is just ridiculously, exponentially greater than the potential downside, the loss. Think about it. In our case, the most you can possibly lose is your $100, but you're aiming to gain $1 million. It's only in these kinds of bets that you even stand a chance. All right, so the big question is, where do you even find these things? Well, when you boil it all down, there are really only 4 paths in the real world where this kind of massive upside even exists. Now, I'm going to warn you, not all of them are smart, and they're definitely not all safe, but they're the only 4 on the map.
Okay, so here they are. We're going to break down these 4 paths: extreme risk speculation, the skill to scale path, building a scalable digital business, and of course, good old lottery level luck. Let's kick things off with the one that everybody's always talking about. Path number 1, extreme risk speculation. Yeah, this is the wild stuff. We're talking about out-of-the-money options. Throwing money at microcap crypto coins that nobody's ever heard of. High leverage trades. Sure, you see the crazy success stories online, but here's the brutal truth. 99% of people who try this lose money. One wrong move and you're wiped out. Let's be real. This isn't investing. It's educated gambling, at best.
Okay, now for what might be the most underrated path of them all. On this path, you don't try to turn the $100 directly into $1 million. No. Instead, you turn that $100 into leverage. What do I mean by that? I mean, you buy software, you take a course, you get tools that let you use your skills to generate income. See, this path relies on execution and consistency, not some lucky break. And this is so key. Most self-made millionaires didn't just stumble into wealth. They built something first. And that brings us to path number 3, which is probably the most realistic path of them all: building a scalable digital business. Now, why? It's all about one magic word: scale. Digital products can scale infinitely. You create one online course, one little software tool, and you can sell it to 10 people or 10 million people. Your initial $100, that's more than enough to get you a domain name, some cheap hosting, and a few basic tools to get started. Now, don't get me wrong, this is hard work. It is not easy. But unlike pure gambling, it's repeatable.
And then there's path 4. Look, we just have to be honest about this one. It's pure lottery level luck. Some people just get lucky. They bought the right meme coin for a few bucks and it exploded. But that is not a strategy. It's not repeatable. And frankly, it has nothing to do with intelligence. If that's your plan, you have to just call it what it is. You're not an investor. You're buying a lottery ticket. So this all leads to a really fundamental fork in the road, a mistake that I think keeps most people from ever building real wealth. It's this critical mindset shift between focusing on luck and focusing on leverage. Let's break it down. The luck mindset, it's all about focusing on the money itself. You're just waiting for that one lucky break. But the leverage mindset, that's totally different. It focuses on building skills, on creating value, on building a system that can work over and over. One is just passive hope. The other is an active process of creating something new. And this really gets to the core lesson of this entire thing. Money is an effect. It's not the cause. Money follows value. It doesn't work the other way around. Trying to get money without first creating value for someone, it's like trying to harvest a crop that you never even bothered to plant. It just doesn't work in the long run. All right, so if we throw out the lottery tickets and the crazy gambling, what does a smart, realistic path actually look like? Let's map it out step by step. Here's the 4-step blueprint. Step 1, use that first $100 to learn a high-value skill, something people will actually pay you for. Step 2, use that skill to start generating real income. Step 3, Reinvest that income into scalable assets, like that digital business we talked about. And finally, step 4. You use the profits from that business to grow your long-term wealth through more traditional, stable investing. Look, this won't make you a millionaire overnight, but it's a path that can change your life permanently. Now, I know what you're thinking. Man, that sounds like a lot of work. And you're right, it is. But here's the amazing part. This path is more accessible right now, today, in 2026, than it has ever been before in all of human history. Why? Because technology has completely changed the game. I mean, think about it. AI can help you write code, design a logo, create marketing materials. All this stuff that used to cost a fortune is now cheap or even free. The internet gives you instant global distribution to billions of people. It is literally possible for one person sitting in their bedroom to build and run $1 million operation. The barrier to entry, it's just not money anymore. So, if money isn't the barrier anymore, what is? Well, the real barriers are now these 3 things: focus, having the discipline to show up every single day, and the ability to actually execute on your ideas. The challenge has shifted from being a financial one to being a personal one. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important idea. We've been asking the wrong question this entire time. The real question isn't, can I turn $100 into $1 million? It's, can I use this $100 to become the person who is capable of earning $1 million? Because once you become that person, once you have the skills, the discipline, the mindset, the money just becomes a byproduct. It's the natural result of the value you can create for other people. It's no longer something you have to chase. It's something that flows to you. And that right there is a goal that's infinitely more powerful than any lottery ticket.